季节无能. During the rainy season in the Serengeti, every second of the night is a life and death struggle. While humans are plunged into darkness and confusion, the hunters here rely on their supernatural abilities to pinpoint their prey with precision, while the prey themselves harbor unique survival codes. From stealthy ambush to coordinated teamwork, from evasion tactics to ecological cycles, this nocturnal survival battle reveals the savannah's most formidable evolutionary wisdom. Today we lift the veil on its mysteries. Most savanna predators possess innate night combat equipment, with the humid rainy season significantly enhancing these capabilities. Primarily nocturnal creatures like African wild dogs and leopards possess abundant rod cells within their eyes, complemented by a reflective layer behind the retina. This structure reflects unabsorbed light back to the retina for secondary light detection, granting night vision far surpassing human capabilities, enabling them to discern prey silhouettes even in pitch darkness. Crucially, their senses form a highly coordinated system, first pinpointing prey's general location through scent, then narrowing the search area using hearing, before executing precise attacks with their exceptional night vision. The humid air during the rainy season allows scent molecules to propagate more stably and persistently. Leopards possess a sense of smell hundreds of times more sensitive than humans, enabling them to distinguish prey species, judge distance and direction through scent concentration, and even detect whether prey is injured or fatigued if the scent carries the sour, putrid odor of sweat. Such prey becomes a priority target. African wild dogs' funnel-shaped ears pivot with remarkable agility, precisely detecting the faint rustling of rodents scurrying through grass. Combined with visual tracking, this allows them to pinpoint prey with unwavering accuracy across complex terrain. This integrated sensory system forms the cornerstone of their nocturnal hunting success during the rainy season. Night hunting differs markedly from daytime pursuits, centering on stealth and surprise, a stark contrast to the group assault tactics of diurnal predators. At night, prey disperses, rendering group assaults inefficient. Predators thus favor solitary ambushes or small group coordinated strikes to conserve. Take lions. When hunting alone at night, lionesses select dense tall grass near water sources, areas both frequented by herbivores and offering excellent concealment. Whilst concealed, she lies completely flat, limbs slightly bent, suppressing her breathing to 8 to 10 breaths per minute to minimize body movement. She deliberately avoids dry grass to prevent rustling and can remain motionless for hours. Once prey enters a 10-meter striking range, the lion explodes into action. Propelled by its hind legs, it accelerates to over 60 kilometers per hour, clawing at the prey's back or legs while simultaneously lowering its head to sink its canine teeth into the carotid artery. This suffocation technique concludes the hunt within 10 seconds. Leopards employ a three-dimensional ambush strategy, either concealing behind ground cover or lying in wait on low branches. As prey approaches, they leap from above, pinning their victim with their weight before seizing the throat. This aerial assault method boasts a success rate over 20% higher than ground ambushes. Confronted by predators' sophisticated tactics, prey species' nocturnal activity patterns represent an evolutionary defense mechanism that, in turn, shapes predator hunting behaviors. During the rainy season, herbivores forage at night to evade daytime heat and concentrated attacks, though this exposes them to nocturnal predators. To enhance survival rates, species like black-faced impalas, wildebeests, and zebras form small groups of 10 to 20 individuals, a group size optimized over time, as larger groups risk exposure while smaller ones fail to establish effective sentry networks. Within these groups, roles are clearly defined. 2 to 3 adult individuals take turns as sentinels, standing tall with heads held high and ears swiveling alertly, constantly scanning the surroundings and sniffing the air. Upon detecting danger, they do not flee immediately but signal through specific actions. Impalas raise their tails to expose their white underbellies, emitting sharp, hissing sounds. Zebras repeatedly flick their tails while swiftly turning their heads towards the threat. At night, with limited visibility, even vigilance can lead to panic during surprise attacks. Different species respond differently. Black-backed gazelles typically scatter, leaving the elderly, weak, or young vulnerable. Zebra herds swiftly form a circle, shielding their young at the center, with adults facing outwards and kicking approaching predators with their hind hooves. Observations indicate that foals in herds employing this defensive strategy survive at rates over 40% higher than those in dispersing groups. Despite multiple predators hunting simultaneously at night, large-scale conflicts rarely occur. This stems from an established pattern of ecological niche differentiation. Distinct predators occupy specific hunting territories and target particular prey species. This clear resource allocation prevents excessive competition, representing an outcome of long-term evolutionary adaptation that safeguards ecosystem stability. On the Serengeti's nocturnal plains, predators exhibit distinct specializations. Leopards, adept climbers, and solitary hunters primarily ambush small to medium prey like impala calves and hares from trees or shrub edges. Successful kills are hauled into trees to feed, preventing scavenging. African wild dogs possess exceptional endurance, excelling at long-distance pursuits. They favor open grasslands and depressions, employing coordinated group tactics to ambush medium-sized prey. Like adult impalas and wildebeest calves, compensating for individual strength through collective advantage. Hyenas possess formidable bite force and scavenge carrion, functioning both as scavengers and active hunters. Their prey ranges from rodents to large wildebeest. They primarily inhabit resource-rich areas near water sources and migration routes, occasionally seizing prey from other predators or consuming animal carcasses. Minor competitive interactions occasionally occur when African wild dogs successfully hunt. If spotted by a pack of hyenas, the latter may exploit their numerical advantage to surround the pack. The wild dogs may either form defensive formations or abandon their kill. Leopards feeding in trees remain vigilant for hyenas below, accelerating their meal or moving to higher branches upon detecting danger. This measured competition drives continuous species evolution, refining survival strategies. Concurrently, nocturnal hunting serves as a vital self-regulatory mechanism within grassland ecosystems. Predators consume aged, weak, or diseased prey, thereby maintaining the health of herbivore populations, preventing disease transmission and providing sustenance for scavengers, thus facilitating material cycling. Regarding group cooperation, the African wild dog's family hunting collaboration and pup-rearing model are exceptionally rare among mammals, forming the core safeguard for their survival. As quintessential pack animals, each family unit comprises 5 to 20 members, expanding to over 30 during the rainy season when food is abundant. The pack maintains a strict hierarchical order through specific body language and scent marking. The alpha pair, consisting of 2 adult dogs, are the only individuals with breeding rights. They mark territorial boundaries with urine and establish dominance through licking and gentle biting, while other members demonstrate submission through actions like bowing their heads or exposing their bellies. The alpha pair orchestrates hunting strategies, defends territory, and mediates internal conflicts. Other adult dogs form specialized functional groups, with roles flexibly adjusted according to prey type, quantity, and terrain. Hunting small prey requires 2 to 3 scouts plus 3 to 4 encircling members, while pursuing larger game or navigating complex terrain mobilizes more members, even temporarily enlisting those normally guarding pups. Long-term observations in Serengeti National Park reveal that packs with stable structures and clear divisions achieve nearly 40% higher hunting success rates than loosely organized, disorganized groups. This disparity becomes more pronounced during periods of food scarcity. The hunting process of wild dog packs demonstrates remarkable collaborative intelligence, with the preparatory phase directly determining success. Before each hunt, 2 to 3 experienced adult dogs form a reconnaissance team, departing 1 to 2 hours in advance to survey areas where herbivores congregate, such as water sources and prime grazing grounds. During reconnaissance, they move slowly with lowered bodies to avoid alerting prey, simultaneously using sight and scent for comprehensive tracking. Once a scent is locked onto, they follow the trail, judging prey direction and distance by scent freshness, and using droppings and footprints to assess prey size, movement speed, and health. They also assess surrounding safety, confirming the absence of other predators and suitability of terrain for encirclement. Upon confirming intelligence, the reconnaissance team communicates via specific vocalizations, where distinct syllables, frequencies, and durations convey different messages. 3 rapid, short barks per second indicate the discovery of small prey. A sustained, low, deep bark lasting 2 seconds signals the detection of large prey. And a continuous, rapid barking exceeding 5 times per second serves as a danger warning. Upon receiving the signal, the main hunting contingent assembles under the leader's guidance and sets off. They maintain a strict fan formation whilst moving, balancing speed, vigilance, and preparation for the encirclement. Members maintain contact through licking, gentle shoulder nudges, and low-pitched vocalizations to prevent straggling or disorientation. The encirclement phase epitomizes the pack's collective coordination, with tactics adapted flexibly. As they approach the prey group, the pack progressively narrows the fan-shaped enclosure, blocking escape routes while controlling movement speed and noise levels. The leader typically positions themselves at the rear of the enclosure on high ground, directing the pack through varied frequency barks, adjusting the tightening position of the enclosure according to the prey's flight direction, and commanding the pack to accelerate based on the prey's speed. Subsequently, 2 robust adult males launch probing attacks, circling the prey herd with rapid runs and low growls to unsettle the group and induce chaos. The gregarious nature of herbivores means individual panic easily spreads, exposing vulnerable members, the elderly, weak, or infirm. Once the herd was in disarray, ambushed wild dogs from both flanks charged in, targeting vulnerable individuals with clear division of labor. Front members bit the prey's limbs to drag and restrict movement. Flank members disrupted the prey's direction. Rear members seized the opportunity to bite the neck or abdomen, inflicting fatal wounds, while others drove off any attempting to rescue the prey. The entire process can dispatch medium-sized prey within 3 to 5 minutes, with tactics adapting to the target. When hunting swift black-faced impalas, the pack tightens its encirclement to shorten attack distance, increasing the number of distracting members. When targeting wildebeest calves, 3 to 4 members distract adult wildebeest, preventing them from approaching their young by attacking legs and hindquarters. This specialized strategy significantly boosts hunting success, securing African wild dogs a place among the savannah's apex predators. Wild dog packs prioritize pup development, with hunting serving as practical training within a structured, phased nurturing system. Pups under 3 months, incapable of hunting, are exclusively cared for by 2 to 3 non-breeding adult females, defending against predators, licking and cleaning the pups, and returning from hunts with semi-digested meat to feed them. Pups aged 3 to 4 months accompany the pack to hunting grounds, observing from safe zones to master core skills, identifying prey tracks, deciphering adult vocalizations, and understanding pack coordination. Adults deliberately slow movements and repeat signals to aid learning. At 6 months, pups participate in basic encirclement tactics, gaining experience through driving prey and clearing carcasses. Adult dogs correct errors through gentle nudges and licking, not punishment. Following successful hunts, packs adhere to the pups eat first principle, with adults maintaining vigilance nearby. During the rainy season when food is abundant, adults may carry portions of the kill back to the den to ensure pups unable to accompany the hunt are fed. Observations indicate that packs with close cooperation and clear division of labor achieve pup survival rates exceeding 60%, whereas loosely organized small groups fall below 30%. Notably, African wild dogs are now classified as endangered. The Serengeti population numbers only around 100 individuals, dispersed across 12 small packs with minimal genetic exchange between them, posing a risk of inbreeding. In recent years, the population has continued to decline, with core threats including disease transmission, habitat fragmentation, and human disturbance. To protect this species, Serengeti National Park and environmental organizations have initiated multiple measures. For disease control, regular health monitoring identifies risks, with sick individuals isolated for treatment and vaccinated to boost immunity. Habitat protection involves establishing dedicated reserves, demarcating core activity zones and migration corridors, and connecting fragmented habitats through ecological restoration. Population recovery employs reintroduction programs, bringing in healthy individuals to augment numbers and enhance genetic diversity. Initial successes are now evident in eastern Serengeti and the Loliondo region, with some family groups expanding and cub survival rates improving. Unlike the gregarious African wild dog, the leopard is a solitary predator. Young female leopards, newly independent, face unique survival challenges. Their survival and hunting strategies represent the culmination of long-term evolutionary adaptation, precisely tailored to the savanna environment and their physiological characteristics. Young females, weighing merely 25 to 35 kilograms upon leaving their mothers, possess insufficient strength and hunting experience, necessitating an extremely cautious survival strategy. Prime Serengeti habitats are occupied by adult leopards, forcing young females to forage at the peripheries of adult territories or in marginal areas where prey is scarce and dangers abound. Observational data indicates that mortality rates peak during the first 1 to 2 years of a young female leopard's independent life, with over 30% succumbing to starvation, disease, or predator attacks. A cautious approach, however, can reduce this mortality rate to below 15%. This caution is not timidity but a necessary choice during this specific phase, crucial for successfully reaching adulthood. The core of young female leopards' caution lies in proactively anticipating and responding to risks, developing specialized avoidance strategies against competitors such as lions, hyenas, and African wild dogs. In daily activities, they establish fixed patrol routes, traversing them 2 to 3 times daily. They rely on scent and sound to detect predators. Their acute olfactory sense distinguishes different predator scents, using scent concentration and freshness to gauge distance and numbers. Footprints and droppings further confirm predator size and movement direction. Upon detecting approaching lion or wild dog prides, it swiftly climbs trees for concealment, the leopard's most effective evasion tactic. Young females possess exceptional climbing prowess, with freely extendable forepaws featuring razor-sharp claws enabling speeds exceeding 2 meters per second, whereas lions and hyenas are poor climbers. They prioritize trees with thick trunks and low branches, concealing themselves within the inner canopy or dense foliage to evade aerial predators or other hunters. Additionally, they adjust their activity patterns to avoid predator peak times, never rashly contesting another predator's kill. Upon discovering carcasses, they first lurk and observe, approaching only after confirming safety. Should a predator return, they will actively retreat. The core of a young female leopard's hunting strategy is efficiency, maximizing gains with minimal exertion. Nighttime serves as the primary hunting period, offering favorable concealment and allowing her to leverage exceptional night vision. Her eyes contain a high concentration of rod cells, rendering them dozens of times more sensitive to light than human eyes. This enables her to clearly track prey movement in low-light conditions. Compared to adult females, young leopards adopt a more conservative approach to prey selection, primarily targeting small to medium-sized herbivores such as black-faced impalas, hares, and young antelope, prioritizing elderly, weak, or immature individuals. Having identified a target, the young female leopard engages in prolonged stealth. She selects cover such as tall grass, thickets, or ravines, lying parallel to the ground with limbs lightly pressed against the surface. She tucks her abdomen to reduce height and controls her breathing to fewer than 10 breaths per minute to minimize elevation. She maintains visibility through gaps in tall grass or along the edges of thickets, using the sound of raindrops to mask any slight movement. Once prey enters striking range, the leopard explodes into action, arching its back to lower its center of gravity, contracting hind leg muscles to store power, then propelling itself forward with a powerful rear-legged thrust. Its tail swings nimbly to maintain balance while its head dips slightly to target vital points, achieving sprint speeds exceeding 70 kilometers per hour over short distances. Targeting prey of varying sizes requires distinct tactics. When hunting small game like hares, the front paws pin the back, claws piercing to restrain struggles, followed by a bite with approximately 300 kilograms of force severing the windpipe, ending the struggle within 3 seconds. When hunting medium-sized prey like black-faced impala calves, it first bites the hind legs to drag the animal to the ground, avoiding injury from front hooves. When hunting medium-sized prey like black-faced impala calves, it first bites the hind legs to drag the animal to the ground, avoiding injury from front hooves. It then repositions to pin the prey, seizing the neck to complete the stranglehold, ending the kill within 5 to 8 seconds. When prey resists, The leopard sidesteps hoof strikes while clawing the legs to weaken opposition, or launches secondary attacks from the flank or rear, avoiding frontal pursuits that deplete stamina. Following a successful hunt, young female leopards do not feed immediately. Instead, they first listen and observe to confirm safety before moving the prey to a tree. Their solitary nature prevents them from relying on a group to guard the kill. Trees provide the safest feeding location, shielding them from scavengers like hyenas and vultures. During transport, it grips the prey's neck or abdomen with its teeth to lift its body, selecting open, unobstructed routes to hasten movement and minimize time spent on the ground. It can carry prey equivalent to half its own body weight while climbing. It ascends by alternately exerting force with its limbs, using its tail to wrap around branches for balance. It selects sturdy branches 5 to 10 meters high as feeding points, securing the prey before commencing consumption. Young female leopards exhibit extreme frugality in feeding. They begin with the abdomen, progressing to the back and leg muscles, before gnawing bones to extract minerals. Uneaten portions are concealed beneath foliage in tree branches, covered with leaves and marked with scent to deter other predators. Observations indicate that young female leopards achieve a 30 to 40% hunting success rate during the rainy season, significantly surpassing the dry season's roughly 20%. This higher success rate ensures their successful maturation within the fiercely competitive savanna environment. With the Serengeti leopard population currently estimated at 1,000 to 1,200 individuals, the survival rate of young females directly impacts the species' reproductive capacity and long-term viability. Beyond active predators, vultures serve as the savanna's scavengers. Though often overlooked, they play a vital role in the grassland ecosystem, directly influencing ecological health and material cycling efficiency. The Serengeti hosts multiple vulture species, including the white-headed vulture, black vulture, white-backed vulture, and the Egyptian vulture. These species exhibit distinct differences in size, diet, and range, forming a complementary scavenging system. The Egyptian vulture, being the largest with the strongest bite force, tears the skin and muscles of large animals to access the thoracic and abdominal cavities. The medium-sized Egyptian vulture, being the most numerous, serves as the primary scavengers, consuming muscle and internal organs. The smaller, agile black vulture cleans residual fine tissue and bone fragments. The bald vulture exhibits both scavenging behavior and active predation on small rodents and insects. The vulture's anatomy is tailored for scavenging. Featherless head and neck prevent contamination from decaying flesh and bacterial growth, facilitating cleaning. A sharp, robust beak tears through skin and muscle, crushing bones to extract marrow. Their robust digestive systems efficiently break down organic matter. With wingspans of 2 to 3 meters, they excel at flight, conserving energy through prolonged soaring on thermal currents. When foraging, they circle in groups with a field of vision spanning several kilometers, swiftly signaling companions upon discovering carrion. During the rainy season, when predators hunt more frequently and animal remains proliferate, vultures intensify their activity, flying hundreds of kilometers daily to ensure carcasses are promptly cleared. The vulture's core ecological function lies in scavenging animal carcasses to prevent pathogen transmission, a role particularly critical in the high-temperature, high-humidity conditions of the rainy season. Such conditions foster the proliferation of lethal pathogens including Bacillus anthracis, rabies virus, and Brucella bacteria. A large animal carcass decomposes naturally within 3 to 5 days. With elevated mortality rates during the rainy season, untimely removal of carcasses creates ideal breeding grounds for pathogens. These pathogens spread through multiple pathways: soil permeation, insect bites, and airborne transmission, potentially triggering widespread infections among herbivores. The vulture's highly concentrated gastric acid serves as a secret weapon against pathogens, capable of eliminating over 99% of bacteria and viruses. Even stubborn pathogens like Bacillus anthracis are thoroughly decomposed. A single vulture can consume carrion equivalent to 1/3 of its body weight daily. A flock of approximately 20 vultures can clear the carcass of a wildebeest or zebra within hours, severing pathogen transmission chains at their source. Research indicates that herbivore disease incidence in areas with frequent vulture activity is over 60% lower than in regions with sparse vulture populations. Moreover, Vultures serve as material transformers in the grassland's nutrient cycle, converting organic matter from animal carcasses into inorganic substances readily absorbed by plants, thereby enhancing recycling efficiency. Animal remains, rich in organic compounds, decompose slowly through natural processes with low nutrient release efficiency. Vultures achieve highly efficient conversion through feeding. Part of the organic matter is broken down into energy for their own life processes, while the remainder is excreted as feces. Vulture droppings are rich in nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, possessing fertilizing power 3 to 4 times greater than ordinary farmyard manure. Rainfall during the wet season washes these droppings into the soil, enhancing soil fertility and promoting vegetation growth. Observations indicate that vegetation coverage in areas with frequent vulture activity exceeds 25%, with grass growth rates approximately 30% faster. This lush vegetation provides ample food for herbivores, thereby supporting more predators and forming a virtuous cycle of material exchange. Simultaneously, the vulture's digestive process converts organic carbon into carbon dioxide released into the atmosphere, participating in the global carbon cycle and aiding climate regulation. Vultures also optimize ecosystem resource allocation by enabling stratified nutrient utilization, thereby enhancing resource efficiency. Predators typically consume only the core portions of carcasses after hunting, leaving substantial remains. Vultures first utilize the primary nutrient-rich sections, while the residual minute tissues, cartilage, and bone fragments serve as food for jackals, and scavenging insects like beetles and maggots, establishing a hierarchical utilization pattern of large scavengers, small scavengers that maximizes nutrient utilization. Moreover, predators like hyenas locate food by observing vulture congregations, indirectly enhancing resource recycling efficiency. Vulture gatherings also attract carrion-feeding insects, providing sustenance for birds and other organisms, thus forming complex necrophagous communities. The ecological role of vultures is irreplaceable. Jackals are smaller and less efficient at clearing carcasses, while beetles can only process minute tissue fragments and are incapable of handling large remains. Consequently, fluctuations in vulture populations directly impact material cycling efficiency. Significant declines lead to carcass accumulation, a surge in pathogen transmission risks, and disruption of ecological balance. Alarmingly, vultures now face a severe existential crisis. Between February 2023 and November 2024, the Serengeti witnessed 3 separate vulture poisoning incidents, claiming the lives of approximately 400 endangered birds. Crucially, these occurrences all took place during the breeding season March to October, resulting in the death of numerous chicks due to the loss of adult caregivers. Investigations revealed the poisoning stemmed from vultures consuming livestock carcasses laced with toxic pesticides by herders, an extreme measure taken to protect livestock. Pesticide contamination has become the vulture's primary threat, alongside habitat destruction, illegal poaching, and climate change. To safeguard vulture populations, Serengeti National Park, local authorities and environmental organizations have implemented multiple measures. Legislatively, banning toxic pesticides like diclofenac and increasing penalties for illegal hunting and pesticide application. Operationally, establishing vulture sanctuaries, setting up artificial feeding stations for safe food provision, and conducting breeding monitoring alongside rescue and rehabilitation efforts. Research efforts employ satellite tracking and ringing to monitor migration routes and population dynamics, providing scientific foundations for conservation strategies. Public awareness campaigns educate pastoralists on the ecological value of vultures, promoting scientifically informed livestock protection. These measures have yielded initial successes, halting the decline in vulture numbers, with some populations showing modest growth. Beyond the young female leopards, solitary female lions shortly after giving birth also face immense survival challenges as solitary female predators. Their predicament serves as a significant microcosm of the Serengeti lion population's survival status, closely intertwined with lion social structure, reproductive cycles, and the grassland ecosystem. This reflects the combined outcomes of species evolution and environmental adaptation. Lions are quintessential social animals, forming prides of 5 to 15 individuals comprising adult males, adult females, and cubs. A strict hierarchical order prevails. Adult males defend the territory. Adult females hunt to secure food supplies, and cubs depend on adult care. Pride territories adjust seasonally, contracting during the rainy season when food is plentiful and expanding to over 100 square kilometers during the dry season. However, after giving birth, lionesses temporarily leave the pride to protect their cubs from threats posed by non-sire males. Within the pride or external predators, they raise their cubs alone. Non-sire males may kill cubs to induce the lioness to come back into estrus. This choice represents the lioness's precise assessment of survival risks. Yet it also burdens her with the dual pressures of solitary cub rearing and hunting. The foremost challenge for solitary lionesses is food pressure. Postpartum females, physically weakened, require 1.5 times their usual food intake to support recovery and lactation. Yet, having lost the cooperative advantage of the pride, their hunting success rate plummets dramatically. Solo hunts succeed only 15% of the time, dropping below 10% when food becomes scarce towards the end of the rainy season. In contrast, pride hunts achieve over 30% success. Compelled by necessity, solitary lionesses must shift their hunting targets from large herbivores like wildebeest and zebra to smaller prey such as black-backed gazelles, which offer limited energy. They must hunt 3 to 4 times daily, far exceeding the frequency of group hunting. In extreme circumstances, they may resort to scavenging carrion to sustain themselves. Secondly, solitary lionesses must confront multiple external threats alone. Firstly, the menace of hyena packs, which not only steal prey but actively attack cubs, accounting for approximately 30% of cub mortality. Secondly, incursions by territorial male lions. Competing for territory and dominance, these males attack cubs, compelling solitary females to relocate every 2 to 3 days. This prevents the establishment of stable hunting and resting environments. Thirdly, challenges posed by the natural environment during the rainy season. The combined pressures of hunting, avoiding danger, and protecting cubs severely deplete solitary lionesses' physical and mental resources. Daily cub guarding duties consuming 4 to 6 hours significantly curtail rest periods. Prolonged exhaustion weakens immunity, heightening susceptibility to diseases like canine distemper. Nutritional deficiencies and fatigue further cause weight loss and physical decline, reducing hunting success rates and perpetuating a vicious cycle. Data indicates that solitary lionesses experience mortality rates over 30% higher than those living in prides, with cub mortality reaching approximately 50%. Surviving cubs also exhibit slower growth and development. This solitary predicament represents a natural selection process within lion populations. Only physically robust, skilled, and highly vigilant lionesses can successfully raise cubs, thereby transmitting superior genes and enhancing the population's environmental adaptability. Simultaneously, solitary existence disperses survival risks across the pride, preventing total extinction during group disasters. It also regulates lion population numbers, maintaining the balance between predators and herbivores. Lionesses who have endured the solitary trial become superior hunters and mothers upon rejoining the pride, contributing to its stable development. The wildebeest migration represents the Serengeti's most spectacular ecological phenomenon and constitutes a pivotal process in the ecosystem's energy and material recycling. Each May, as the dry season begins, over 1.5 million wildebeest, accompanied by hundreds of thousands of zebras and gazelles, embark on their journey from the southern Ngorongoro Conservation Area towards the northern Masai Mara Reserve. By late October, as the rains arrive, they retrace their steps, completing a migratory cycle spanning over 3,000 kilometers that exerts a comprehensive influence on the grassland ecosystem. The wildebeest migration significantly impacts the distribution and growth of grassland vegetation. Millions of wildebeest graze along the route, acting as a form of periodic pruning that controls vegetation. Height promotes tillering and sprouting and enhances pasture density. Their dung, rich in minerals, improves soil fertility, boosting grassland productivity and increasing vegetation diversity across the migration corridor, thereby providing high-quality food resources for other herbivores. The migration furnishes predators with abundant prey, directly influencing their population numbers and survival status. Calves and vulnerable individuals among the migrating wildebeest constitute primary targets for predators such as lions and wild dogs, which follow the migration to accumulate energy during periods of plentiful food. During this period, lions experience heightened hunting success and cub survival rates, while wild dog prides expand and hyenas face reduced survival pressures. Observations indicate a marked increase in grassland predator populations post-migration, with particularly significant growth in cub numbers. The wildebeest migration drives material cycling and energy flow within the ecosystem. Energy and nutrients from the wildebeest return to the ecosystem through predation or natural mortality. After consumption by predators, their feces and carcasses are cleared by scavengers such as vultures, releasing nutrients into the soil to nourish vegetation. This transfer facilitates smoother cycles and more efficient energy flow, while simultaneously driving the migration of scavengers, dung-feeding insects and other organisms. This forms a complete migratory ecological chain, promoting interactions and interdependence among species. The migration also positively impacts grassland biodiversity. Wildebeest herds reshape the ecological environment, creating survival opportunities for diverse species. Vegetation and soil changes in traversed areas attract specific insects and small herbivores, while accompanying predators and scavengers further enrich species composition. Concurrently, natural selection during migration drives wildebeest population evolution. Only robust, resilient, and vigilant individuals complete the journey and pass on their genes, enhancing the herd's environmental adaptability. The ecological impact of wildebeest migration is multifaceted, shaping the savanna's ecological landscape while maintaining systemic equilibrium and stability. Without migration, grasslands may degrade, predator populations decline due to food scarcity, and ecological balance is disrupted. Thus, wildebeest migration transcends mere animal behavior. It constitutes the core driving force sustaining the savanna's ecological functioning, a masterful ecological mechanism of nature's evolution.